Why don't you tell the people who you are and what is it that you do?
Okay, my name is Larry Bethea. We're at Diplomat Shoe Club. That's the name of the store. We've been in business 25 years, and what we do is we provide a service to our community, local and outlying, in fine menswear. We don't do khakis, we don't do workwear. By that I mean we don't do work boots or things of that ilk. It's strictly dress up. If you have an occasion to go to, if you have an interview, or if you just need a clean wardrobe for your everyday workplace, we're the place for you. Okay? Come here, you won't be disappointed. We do everything from hats to footwear. We carry some fine footwear labels like Meslin, David Eden, Stetson, Stacy Adams, and something for everybody, for every price range. Of course, we have suits, we have dress slacks, dress shirts, ties, you name it, we have. Like I said, we don't do khakis and we don't do the shorts with the strings hanging at the bottom. That we just don't do. We leave that for the other stores.
So would you consider this to be a high-end clothing store?
We're moderate, yes.
So was it hard in the beginning to establish a business out here?
Yes, it was hard in the sense that when you open up, initially no one knows you, no one knows you're there. So basically you have to watch your overhead. You have to have the funds, the monies to carry you through the lean period when you're not going to have any revenue coming in. And so what you have to do, the critical thing when you start a business is the overhead, the expenses. You have to keep those down. And then the other thing, you have to have those that are behind. In other words, your family, your wife, your spouse, whomever, they have to be in your camp. They have to support you in your dream, whatever you're trying to do. So that's critical. And basically, you have to hustle. You have to be hungry, and but most of all, you have to have faith. The faith that you can get it done. The faith that God has given you the ability to fulfill your dream. Okay?
Correct. I agree 100%.
All right. And but again, faith and that overhead, get that overhead low. And the other thing, you have to have the wherewithal, because there's certain components in making a business successful. In my business, in this business, there are three components. You have the retailer, that's me. You have the supplier, who we call the vendor. Then the third person that the vendor and the supplier, they rely on, is the factor. The factor is the money man. Okay? The way it works as a retailer, you have your monies that you use in the financial business. You go to there's a fourth person, I forgot that. There's a credit rating facility called Dun & Bradstreet. You prepare your financial statement through your accountant. Present that to Dun & Bradstreet. And they, based on the numbers and the financial information you give them, they work up a credit profile for you. That will enable them to give that profile to the factor, who determines a line of credit for you, which will enable you to go out and buy merchandise on the open market and not have to pay for it up front. Because having to pay for things up front depletes all of your assets quickly. Okay? So you do that, and once that's done, then you can go out and start stocking your store. And that's what I did.
Okay, so speaking of, I don't want you to divulge all your little tricks, but what was one of the ways you marketed this store? Because you're kind of off of the main street. However, you're by quite a few stores and a police station for that matter. However, it took me, I think, maybe a month of being in the city to see your store.
Now, when you were in the city, were you on foot or were you driving?
I was on foot.
Okay. Evidently, you were focused on where you were going. You had your blinders on. A lot of
Correct.
people do that. But the reason, now I thought about Broad Street. Okay. Then there were several things that told me not to do Broad Street. Number one, of course, was the cost, the rent to get a space. And then number two, you get lost in the mix with all the other stores on Broad Street. And unfortunately, here in this city, the stores on Broad Street they cater to, not that I'm slighting anyone, but they seem to cater to people at the lower socioeconomic level as far as income. Okay, and in my type of store, we get lost in that desert. Okay, whereas on this side street, between Broad Street and the municipal parking lot, there's a lot of parking on this street, and there's a lot of foot traffic on this street. And being that I am a boutique type operation, I felt that I would stand out, and I did. And then there were other times that I would, and another component that made people notice me, the windows. When you do a window, your window is your first salesman, okay, in any retail store, no matter what size you are. It could be my store, it could be Macy's or Bergdorf Goodman. It's the window that attracts people's attention. So I would put colorful displays in the window. Then oftentimes I would, when someone would stop and look, I would actually go outside and engage them in conversation and invite them in. Okay? So that's one way I would do it. And then the other thing, I would put flyers together and just hand them out, say per se on Broad Street, or hand them out to people walking by. I would do that. What else? That's basically how I got started doing that.
For 25 years, I think it worked.
Yeah. Well, later on, as time went on, you fine tune and add other things. Eventually we did mass mailings. We did what else? We had mailings. We did a lot of mailings. And once people started coming in, we would get their names and addresses, so we could do mass mailings and promote sales and events like that, and send out gift coupons.
So are there any plans of expanding your empire, or are you content with where you are now?
Well, at one point I was keen on expanding, but time got away from me, so to speak. And we did expand to another store. We had 2 stores, but the building changed hands. The new landlord wanted to become my partner, so to speak, so we thought that was not going to be successful. And the other thing I want to add, as a small retailer, if whenever you can, if you have a chance, buy the property that you're in. Buy it. Buy it, because once you're successful and if you have a landlord, he sees how successful you are, he wants to become your partner. It's bad enough that we have the IRS as a silent partner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, then he might try to extort you somehow.
Not extortion.
Or strong arm you.
Just raise the rent. Just keep, every time the lease is up for renewal, keeps pumping it up, and you can't control that. But if you own the property, I mean, think about it. You've got a viable business. You've got real estate. Okay, the physical building plant that you're in. I mean, what could be better than that? You know, that's the American dream.
That's the ultimate, yeah.
Yeah.
Would you or have you ever done consignment deals with fashion designers who are trying to get their merchandise in the market, if the clothes look good, of course?
No one's approached me for that. What I have gotten people that approach me that they want to do something like this in other locales, say in Atlanta or Philadelphia or Dallas, but it's just talk, you know. But everyone can come in and get mesmerized and get infused once they see it, but to actually do it is something else, because it requires commitment, not so much money, but commitment to make it happen.
And where was your passion at to keep driving your commitment to do this?
Well, because this is what I wanted to do. I know my makeup is such that I can't work for anyone else. I've been doing this since I was 18. I went to a school in Newark, Arts High School to be specific, and I was an art major. So this business affords me to satisfy that desire, you know, with the colors and the textures and doing the windows. Doing windows like painting a picture, because you have different components, you have different colors, you have different things, different elements in that window that you're presenting. So that satisfies that
artist in you. Yeah. I get it. Me personally, I feel like everything in life is art, whether you really acknowledge it or not. And you as an individual have an ability to manipulate that art to the way you deem it fit, and to offer a piece of yourself as far as the art and you to the world. That's just my little take on it. Would you consider creating an online store where people can purchase your items via the internet?
Yes, that's in the works. It's not as easy as it sounds. There are a lot of things involved, of course, templates, and it's just a lot of work. Just haven't had the time to really sit down and do it, but it has to be done if I want to be viable in the 21st century.
Okay. I'll hook you up with some people.
Okay.
Like
Thank you.
they do websites and stuff. What advice do you have for someone opening up a clothing store, or any store for that matter? I know
Not
you.
just a clothing store, but a business. First of all, you have to have a passion for what you want to do. I tell anybody, look around. You know your strengths and your weaknesses. Look around, find something that you really like to do, that you're really passionate about, that you think you can make a living with. And usually, if you have something that you're passionate about, you can make a living with it. You can. That's my advice to them. Be it retail, be it marketing, be it whatever you want to do. Public relations, you just have to have a passion for it, and you have to be able to relate to people and talk to people. Because and the key with working with people is listening. If you can learn more by listening to a person, and if you really are sincere and listen to them, they'll tell you all of their business without you having to pump them for it. Okay, that I know for a fact. Because in this business, in this store in particular, guys come here to vent. They come here because they're stressed. They come here and they have a personal problem or issue, and we talk for a few minutes, and they discern that I'm the type of person that they can open up to. They'll do it, and it's happened on numerous occasions. And I will listen. I say, hey, God's got it all figured out. It's in God's hands. Don't you worry about it. Keep the faith. And we talk about God. We talk about faith. Talk about Christianity. We talk about all those things that will help you. Because here's my take on this. No matter what you're going through in life, you have a problem. A problem has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it's not going to last always, okay? And the other thing is that you have to have something to anchor yourself into when things are going wrong, bad around you. When bombs are flying overhead and it's all coming at you and you know which way to turn, you have to be anchored onto something. And my anchor is my faith in Jesus Christ. That's what I would tell anyone, okay? And because people that don't have hope, they haven't anchored themselves onto anything. Okay? When you walk around here and the sun just rises and shines willy-nilly and there's nothing behind it, and you go about your business thinking that everything that you've accomplished or have done or want to do is because of something you've done, when adversity strikes you, you're going to be lost. Okay, so that's what kept me through my business as well, the faith.
All right,
that sustained me.
So Larry, you want to tell people how they could find you or contact you?
Well, it's easy enough. We're here in the great city of Elizabeth, which is south of Newark, New Jersey. It's also south of Newark Airport. We're located at 1210 East Grand Street in Elizabeth, New Jersey. 07201 is the zip. Phone number is 908-820-8857. And we'll be glad to hear from you. You're all welcome. Come on down. We'll receive you warmly.
All right, everyday peoples, you heard it. Come check this guy's stuff out. Spectacular.
And may you all have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you.